Hi friends, good morning. This is Hari Prakash. Today we discuss one of the difficult questions from the chapter puzzle test in reasoning. Have a look at the question. There are seven persons A, B, C, D, E, F and G who are of different heights, different weights and of different ages. So we got information of 7 persons, height, age and weight. As we all know that to answer the questions from puzzle test, in most of the cases we have to prepare a table. Table preparation is a must for puzzle test questions. So table is a combination of rows and columns. So first of all we have to know what must be the table contents. So usually the highest number or numerical value in the problem given indicates the number of rows in the table. For example, in our question, there are 7 persons. 7 persons, age information, height information and weight information is given to us. So the maximum highest number is 7. So the number of rows in our table must be 7 rows. So I have taken 7 rows here. And then the types of elements or issues given in the problem indicates the number of columns and also they are the column headings. It means that here in the question 7 persons age information, height information and weight information is given to us. So what kind of things we are given? Actually we are given three types of things, 3 types of elements: height, age, weight. So we have to take 3 columns and they are the column headings: age, height, weight. So we have 3 columns in our table. And remember, usually we are habituated to take descending order. So I have taken age, height and weight in descending order. So this is the age in descending order, means the first person is nothing but the oldest fellow and the last person is nothing but the youngest fellow. In the height matter, the first place goes to the person who is the tallest fellow and the last place goes to the person who is the shortest fellow. Same thing. In the weight matter, first place goes to the person who is the heaviest fellow and the last place goes to the lightest fellow. Right? Now let us go to the points. And remember, misunderstanding, if we misunderstand one word or phrase or a sentence, the complete table goes wrong only. Just remember this one. Understanding the point or word is very important in the chapters like seating arrangement and puzzle test. In case of seating arrangement, if you misunderstand one word or one sentence, the whole diagram goes wrong. The same thing applicable here in puzzle test also. So let us read the information very carefully and understand it and then try to enter the data inside the table or outside the table. Usually in the chapters like puzzle test, information will be given randomly or in disorder. Our task is to fill up the table by reading out the information. Right? And here the information is of 2 types: direct information and indirect information. Direct information means whenever we read a point, if we can enter that point inside the table, that is called direct point. If we can't write inside the table, it is called indirect point. So they may give us both points, direct and indirect points. Anyway, let us start the problem with the first point here. So what is the first point here? The person who is lighter than only the heaviest is younger than only 3 persons. So actually what happened, in this point he has not mentioned any of the names from A, B, C, D, F and G. So we do not know who he is talking about actually, but he is talking about one person's age matter and also weight matter. Right? Yes. Now let us know how to represent this point. The representation is very, very important. Right? If you can't represent the given information properly, either inside or outside the table, we cannot get the table fill up. Right? Yeah. See the question. See the point. The person who is lighter than only the heaviest. Actually, who is the heaviest? This person is the heaviest. This is the heaviest fellow. The person who is lighter than only the heaviest. It means that we are talking about second heaviest fellow. Second heaviest fellow is nothing but younger than only 3 persons. He is younger than only 3 persons means he is older than remaining fellows. So he is younger than, he is older than remaining three fellows. It means that he is the fourth oldest fellow. He is the fourth oldest fellow. So author is telling that the oldest fellow is nothing but second heaviest fellow. But as we don't know their names, now we are following one simple technique, that as we don't know their names, we ourselves giving them some nicknames or pet names. For example, we are talking about this person. We don't know his name actually. So we are going to give him a simple name, like a pet name. So I am selecting one his name, like this fellow is nothing but plus. I have named him as plus. Second heaviest fellow is plus. He is nothing but the fourth oldest fellow. Fourth oldest fellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. This fellow. Fourth oldest fellow. Both are same. Simple one. As we don't know name, we are following this method or technique. The second heaviest fellow is nothing but fourth oldest fellow. The first point representation is over. We can use this point later on. Now let us go for the second point. The second point, the person who is taller than only F. Remember, the word only always plays a vital role in this kind of questions. Only F is different from F. The person who is taller than only F means nothing but F is the shortest fellow. And the author is talking about one person, that person is the second shortest fellow. The person who is taller than only F. It means that F is the shortest fellow. F is the shortest fellow. You can write F here. F is the shortest fellow. That's it. And we are talking about one person. The person who is taller than only F. So who is just above F. We are talking about that person. Okay. So we don't know again his name. So let us take one more thing. Yes. Yeah. I have named him and Mark. As we don't know his name, we have named him and. The person who is taller than only F is not the heaviest. He is not the heaviest. He is not the heaviest. He is telling he is not the heaviest. Okay. But he is the eldest. He is the eldest fellow. He is the eldest fellow. Okay, no problem. Yes. He is the eldest fellow. Let us take this fellow. Yeah, he is the eldest fellow. But he is not a heaviest fellow. He is not heaviest fellow. He won't come here. So what we do, just make us to recall this one. We keep this into mark here. Into means not. And won't come here. And will come here. And is the oldest fellow. And is the eldest fellow. And is the second shortest fellow. Remember this point, right? Next. The youngest is just heavier than E. The youngest is just heavier than E, but just lighter than G. This point is very indirect point. We can't take inside the table. So let us take outside in the working notes. The youngest is just heavier than E, but just lighter than G. Yeah. This is the working notes. The youngest is just heavier than E, but just lighter than G. We take, this is about weight information. So this is about weight. This is about weight. Okay. This is a representation. We can use it later. Yeah. E is not the lightest. He is telling that E is not the lightest. Okay. E is not the lightest. Okay. This one. E won't come here, this place, lightest place, last place in the weight column. Okay. Yeah, next point. C is lighter than only 2%. C is lighter than only 2%. It means that C is the third. C is the third heaviest fellow. C is third heaviest fellow. Okay. C is third heaviest fellow. This means nothing but C. C is third heaviest fellow. That's all. Yes. Right? There are two persons between D and B in order of their age. It's a very indirect point. We can't take inside the table. So let us take in working notes. There are two persons between D and B in order of their age. How to take this one, Have a look at this. There are two persons between D and B means D may come first or B may come first. That's why I have taken DRB, DRD. Between there are two persons gap. This is the exact representation of that point. It will help us later. Fill up the table. Yeah. B is not the youngest. B is not the youngest. Okay. In the age matter, B won't come in the last. He's telling. Yeah. This is not B. He's telling this is not B. I have written here. Okay. Yeah. Next. D is shorter than only B. D is shorter than only B. Remember this word. D is shorter than only B means D is taller than remaining all people, remaining 5 people. So it's nothing but this point is very important point and also very direct point. D is shorter than only B means B is the tallest fellow and D is the second tallest fellow. Directly you can write. Yeah. This is B. D is shorter than only B. This is D. This one. Right? D is shorter than only B but heavier than. Who is that? D. D is heavier than. We are talking about D only. Don't get confused here. We are talking about only 2 points. Here. Okay, na? D is. We are talking about D. There are 2 points above D. This is a compound sentence. We can break into 2 sentences like, D is shorter than only B, full stop. D is heavier than only E and A. Okay, we have mentioned already this point here in the height column. Now let us go for weight column. D is heavier than only 2 persons. It means that D is the third lightest fellow. It means that D is the third lightest fellow. D is third lightest fellow. This place for D. D is the third lightest fellow. Yeah, this is D, third lightest fellow. And one thing, D is heavier than only E and A. These 2 places for E and A. But we already know that the last place, the lightest person is not E. But these 2 places for E and A. So we have only one choice. We have to write here. No other choice. We have to write here E. And this is nothing but A. Got it? Yes. Right. Next one. A is between G and B. A is between G and B in the order of age. Okay. Let us go for the next point. No problem. A is elder than only D and G. See again, only, the word only is very important. A is elder than only D and G means A is older than only 2 persons. A is older than only 2 persons means A is third youngest fellow. 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 It means. Yes. And these 2 places for D and G. These 2 places for D and G. And come to this point. Remember this word. For weight actually. The youngest one is between G and E. The youngest one is between G and E. Come to this weight column. Above E, who must be there? Youngest fellow. Above youngest fellow, G must be there. So this is E, and above youngest is above E is that place goes for youngest fellow only. That is nothing but D. We got that information. So D is to be the youngest person. D is to be the youngest person. This is D. Yes. And just now we discussed here. Come to this point. See this point. D is there are 2 persons between D and B. So these are the 2 places for between D and B. There must be 2 places, right? So I have to take B here. This is B. And who is B? Plus is B. So where you can write plus here? This is a place for plus. That's all. This is a way to fill up. Right? And one more thing just we discussed. See this point. A is between G and B. A is between G and B in the order of age. So A is here. and B is there already, so I have to write G now. This is a place for G. Yes. Got it? Yeah. Next. A is elder than only D and G. That's over. And E is the only one between C and G in the order of height. Okay, that we discuss later. Huh? Yes. Yes. See, we have forgot one point. The person who is younger than only the eldest. The person who is younger than only the eldest means second eldest fellow. This fellow, second eldest fellow, is heavier than only the lightest. The second oldest fellow is heavier than only the lightest fellow. Who is the lightest fellow here? A actually. Who is just heavier than A? Who is the second lightest? E. So E will come in the place in the second place. That we forgot actually. Yeah. This is place for E. Right? And now think about this A's column. How many people? How many places are filled up? Actually, 5 places. Only 2 places are left. First place and third place, right? And what are the names left actually? C and F, right? So unmark is there, right? In the place of unmark, what you can write? C or F. And remember, in A's column, unmark is in the first place, and in the height column, it is in the last button place. So in the unmarked place, which one you have to write? C or F? That is our doubt, right? Now check in the height column, there is already F. So in the place of and in the 8th column, we can't write F here because already F is there and has to be there. So I have to take C here only. In the place of and, I will take C. This C. So that I can write, I can take C here. So that I can take C here. That's all. And remaining person is F here. This is a place for F. That's all. So A's column is filled up, right? And come to the next point here. Youngest. See this point. This point. Youngest one is just above E and just below G. So I take G here now. This place is for G. Above D in the weight column. This is for G. Yes. What is left for first place? A, B, C, D, E, F. F is missing in the weight column, so F must be there here. This must be F. So weight column is also filled up. Right? Yes. Now come to the last one. Yes. And the last point is here, E is the only one between C and G in the order of height. E is the only one between C and G. So we have to take E here. E is the only one between C and G. So this is G. Yes. And who is left here actually? Nothing but A. That's all. That is the table. And this information usually followed by 5 questions. We have to answer these 5 questions by following this table. That's all. Yeah. Have a nice day. Thank you.